before we get into that, I believe you have a Barry Sanders story for us.
Oh, absolutely. He said, I know you want to ask me. I said, again, the third, I was like, what are you talking? He said, why I retired early. And I said, wow, of course, that wasn't in the back of my mind because I'm all excited, right? I'm on like fan mode 25. I'm like, ooh, it's Barry. Ooh, it's Barry, right? But then, oh yeah. Why did you retire early? Right. I can tell you right now for sure. If I do win the overall championship, I'm going to rent a billboard off on 440, and it's going to be a big billboard sign with me holding the trophy.
Oh man.
Well, yeah, I am.
Hey, but hold on before you do this, man. Like you're gonna want to go to some of them picnics up in Detroit, and you're gonna want to go see the family up in Detroit. So just tread lightly. Arizona, the GM had to step down. Guess who's next? The head coach is next. And I think everybody knows that. All those type of distractions take away from the focus of just going out and playing the game. And Tampa stinks right now also, but they stink less than Arizona do. So I'll give it to Tampa.
Now we get into the fun ones that we disagree on.
So,
Diego, you're gonna start up.
This is what separates just having a good week from a great week. You probably put something.
I'm a genius. If they end up winning this, my intuition is just off the charts. If they, I want to get all this on record.
It's a fluke.
Yes.
We're gonna let Jerome and Johnson finish their audit on that. The very respected Jerome and Johnson accounting firm.
Pick Pros brought to you by Jerome and Johnson. This is former Chicago Bear Desmond Clark. And y'all hear me on many podcasts, but when y'all hear me on Pick 'em Pros, y'all know it's all about family. This ain't just business.
We're coming back tonight. We're going to tie it up 2-2, go back to Golden State, then 3-2, and then we're going to control the series.
Chain back this week. Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You know who it is. I am Derek Thompson.
And I'm Diego Thompson.
And who are we?
We're the Pick 'em Pros.
We are the Pick 'em Pros coming back at you in the house. Oh, man, we have a special show today. This is Who You Got, father and son dynamic duo, Diego and Derek coming at you, where we are picking all the games. Right now, it's NFL season. We're going into week 16, so we're picking all the week 16 NFL games. We're going to recap last week. As you can see, my son has the chain, the coveted Pick 'em Pros chain. That's what you get when you win the particular week. So we're going to dive into that a lot. Desmond Clark, former tight end for the Chicago Bears, is the third D. He picks with us every week as well. So, yes, Diego stole the chain from Desmond Clark. He will be on with us a little later in the show. To go back and forth with us and to make our week 16 picks. He's going to try to steal the chain back from Diego, but we'll see what happens there. But we know that's not going to happen. We know I'm going to take the chain, but we already that's what's going to happen.
Okay, when was the last time you had the chain?
Doesn't matter because for one,
I actually don't remember.
Okay, for one,
my memory, dude.
Okay, now as we're picking, right, we've been picking the whole regular season, and we're sending money to certain causes in the community that we're going to talk about in a minute. But it's not just the week to week, it's overall. And overall, I'm up 7 games for the season. So, I'm
there's
upset.
No time, dude. There's a lot of season left. The momentum, you got to look at the moment to see the momentum is going in my direction. So
there's only 3 weeks left in the season. I got a 7-game lead. It's basically over. My cause is going to get $2,500, which you're going to talk about in a minute. Your cause is going to get the $500 because you will be losing. But you got the chain this week. But tell us what's up with. I know you're going to get into this more when Dez comes on. But What's up with the shirt, the lime green that's blinding me? I can barely.
Oh yeah. I got the Grinch shirt. Just really because it's Christmas and everything, holiday season, and then just stealing Christmas. It's just stealing all the spirit from you guys.
Really?
So
Okay.
that's what that represents. Me and the Grinch today, just stealing everything from you.
That's what that represents. That's very, very clever. Very, very clever. Did you come up with that on your own?
No, I did not. My mom came up with that. That would be a good thing to do today.
Wow. So shouts out to mommy, aka Kesey. Shouts out to mommy. All right, okay. But we have, before Dez comes on, before we go into Dez and we make our week 16 picks and we take I take the chain from him and you. We have a special guest, Mr. Michael Sims, from the Detroit. He's going to be on with us before Dez. He was our very first guest on Pick'em Pros back when we filmed at Zaxby's back during March Madness.
But hang on 1 second.
All right.
Baby, this is how we do it. This is how we do it at Pick'em Pros. Ain't but one way to roll. It's bad boys.
He is the Detroit expert. He came on and gave us our top 10, his top 10. His top 5 Detroit Pistons of all time. His Detroit Pistons starting lineup of all time. He gave us that. He also taught a school that's on Michigan, the University of Michigan, that is. So this week he is on because the Detroit Lions are doing big things and they are doing very well. So he's coming on to talk Detroit Lions with us to hey, let us know, are the Lions for real? So we're going to talk to him about the Detroit Lions. And then next week, he's going to come on and talk about Michigan as they get ready to go into their bowl game. But we're also in the same fantasy football league. And Mike and I are going head-to-head this week in the semifinals. So we're going to talk a little trash on that. So we got a lot of fun football stuff. So this is a football field, who you got, and we're going to really get into it. But before we do that, let's tell everybody, those that have not seen us before, let's tell everybody about the causes that we're donating to. So we have a friendly wager going on here. Whoever wins, we're donating $2,500 to that cause, and whoever loses, we're donating $500 to that cause. So tell everybody who you are playing for, Diego, for the funds.
I am playing for the Eat, Learn, Play Foundation by Stephanie Shakuri in Oakland.
All right, that's who you are playing for. Great cause. So unfortunately, they're gonna get the $500, which is fine. That's good. I'm sure they will happily accept the $500 because the big dollars is going to my cause because I'm gonna win. It's basically over. It's going to the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy out of Detroit, Michigan. The D is a recurring theme. So my mom's side of the family, all from Detroit. So a lot of Detroit love here on the show. And so hey, the winning funds are gonna go there. So you can see all the information at the bottom. All right. Well, hey, before we bring Mr. Mike on to talk about the Lions and talk about our fantasy football showdown here, let's recap this past week and why you have the chain. How about that? I'm sure you like.
Oh yes.
All right.
Love to recap just everything about my amazing week. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you went 11-5 this past week. You got me and Dez by one game. But Dez and I both went 10-6. So you got us by a game. You are here. Let's pull up your slide here for those watching on YouTube. You went 11-5 this past week. You're 130-92 overall. So man, what's your signature win from this past week? How'd you get the chain?
You'll no doubt the signature win is the Raiders over the Pats. First of all, I was the only one out of you, me and Des to pick the Raiders over the Patriots. And then the way it ended too, just all the laterals and the interception and the pick six interception. And then they were watching that live, and that was the game that decided me getting the chain. So that's definitely my signature win.
That was crazy. Yeah, that was amazing. That was a really cool way to get the chain because it was while that was happening. If they would have lost, but if the Titans would have beaten the Chargers, I would have had the chain. And the games were ending right at the same time. So
Yes.
as the Chargers were beating the Titans, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to at least overtake Dez to get the chain. But the moment that was happening was when the lateral happened and the Raiders won, and it solidified it for you. So that was that was pretty funny and fun to see. So that was cool. So big ups to you. And then on my side again, we got the 7-game lead. I'm 137-85. And my signature win, I say, would be the Lions. You know, been riding the hot hand here. I told you, you know, they're for real, and they were able to go and get that victory over the Jets. So that was a pretty big one. So I would say that was my signature win for the week. But man, it's been amazing since last week. I mean, all those games we were watching on Red Zone. And man, if anybody doesn't have Red Zone, I mean, if you're an NFL fan, you've got to have Red Zone. It's the only way to watch it. And we're able
and Sunday ticket, just the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was phenomenal. It was just absolutely phenomenal. So and before Mike comes on, our great guest here, we've got to give a shout out to Argentina.
Oh yeah.
No, man, it was just amazing fun Sunday of football. So for football and football, right? Because as we were, I think you had to go. We had to go out of town, and as we were coming back, as we were making our way back to the house in the morning, we were listening to the first half of the World Cup, and as you know, as Argentina was up 2-0, we were pulling for Argentina. I've got a lot of friends in Argentina. You had an Argentina jersey when you were just a couple years old that I actually bought in Argentina. So it was, I've been going back and forth through messaging with the friends in Argentina. Was looking bad the very first game, right? They had an upset loss, but then they ran the table and were able to win it, and we got home in time to see the second half. Was looking shaky as France came back, tied it. Then in the extra time or the overtime, Argentina scored, and you know, this is me not watching soccer like that. I thought it was over, right? Because I'm thinking it's sudden death. They scored, and it's over, and they're still playing. I'm like, what? So I didn't realize that they had to play out all of the overtime there.
Yeah, it ended up going into 2 overtimes, then went to penalty kicks at the end.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just amazing. But yeah, got it on the penalty kicks, made all of their penalty kicks, and were able to stop France. But yeah, that was amazing. So between that and then all the great football games, it was just a great weekend of sports. So all right, my man. Well, let's get into it. We have a jam-packed show today. So let's bring in our first guest for today. We have Mr. Michael Sims. He is the man. He lives in North Cackalack with us right now, but is from Detroit, knows all things Detroit, was our first guest ever on Pick 'em Pros. So he is back to talk to us about the Lions. They're on the roll, so we got to bring in our resident Detroit expert, and then we're going to talk fantasy as well. But let's bring in Mr. Mike Sims, Detroit. What's going on, my man?
The D in the house. The D is in the house.
The D is in the house. That is what's up. Well, thank you for joining us first and foremost. Great to have you.
Thank you guys for having me on Pick 'em Pros. Enjoy you guys.
Oh, you bet. It's been too long, so we definitely have to have you on way more often. But thanks for joining us here. But hey, before we get into it, so we want to get your take on the Lions. They're on the roll. They had some tough losses to start the season, but they've been putting it together. I take it you think they are for real. But before we get into that, I believe you have a Barry Sanders story for us.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, of course, as you know, I'm hardcore Detroit. And one of my best things that happened to me was to meet Barry Sanders. Back around 2000 and I want to say probably about 2010-ish, 2009, I worked for Pepsi at the time. And one of the accounts that we were dealing with would have these celebrity golf tournaments. And I actually had to go pick up a couple of the football players, some of the celebrities, and it ended up one of them ended up being Barry Sanders. I had to pick him up from the airport, and as we were driving to the golf course, him and a couple of other celebrities got to talking, and of course, spit out that I was from Detroit. But it's really funny because if you know about Detroit in the D, you got people who claim Detroit, and then you got people who are really Detroit.
Yes.
And I could tell he knew I was really Detroit. So, it was really cool. Hit it off. We went to do a lunch thing, and man, he ended up sitting at my table with me, and we were just cutting up back and forth. And this is really cool. Everybody always wonders why, and I'm just telling you the story here. He said about him retiring early. So as we're just chopping it up, he goes in the middle of it, just says, "Go ahead on and ask me." And I looked at him a little confused, and he said, "Go ahead on and ask me." And I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, "I know you want to ask me." I said, again, the third, I was like, "What are you talking?" He said, "Why I retired early." And I said, wow, of course, that wasn't in the back of my mind because I'm all excited, right? I'm on like fan mode 25. I'm like, ooh, it's Barry. Ooh, it's Barry, right? But then, oh, yeah. Why did you retire early? He says to me, "Look at me." I'm like, what? He said, "Look at me." I'm looking at him, and I'm like, okay. Well, he said, "How big am I?" I said, "You ain't that big." You're a person. And he said, "Well, that's it." He said, "At the end of the day, I got tired of all those big guys piling on top of me. It was just time for me to go."
Man,
so I always, and when he said it, he wasn't saying it like a joke. He was saying it as serious as he says, "Hey, people don't realize, did I get hit hard?" He said, "Nah." He said, "But when you up under 300-pound guys, you on the bottom of that pile." He said, "After 9 years, that just get to wear on you." And he said, "That was just enough for me." So that's my Barry Sanders story. Absolute gentleman. Signed some stuff for me, took a picture with me, and he always gonna be probably my number one football player.
Oh yeah, wow. He was the man. I mean, for sure. Do you feel that? Well, for one, he retired. I mean, he was probably going to break the all-time rushing record if he continued on.
Easy. And the thing is, which I know, Diego got to go back and look at all the old films and stuff.
Right.
The Lions back then, they didn't have no line.
No, no offensive line.
Because Emmett, you remember everybody, that's why the whole Barry Sanders Emmett thing got all kicked up. But Emmett had a Hall of Fame line. Look it up. Don't knock Emmett at all. But at the same time, he had a crazy line.
That's right. He definitely did. He definitely did. Well, so transitioning to right now, the current Lions, because there were so many down years. I mean, it feels like the last time they made the playoffs was when Barry Sanders played there. Now, I think there might have been a year or so in between, maybe Calvin Johnson, maybe your boy, Matthew Stafford, who I know you miss.
Right.
Man, just what's the feeling in Detroit, D? What's going on? Are the Lions for real?
So it's been a long time coming. So it's a long time also when we had, I think, 7-7 record here, and they going nuts in Detroit.
Right.
But if you actually look at it, okay, look at it, going back to prior season, they were losing up until they got on this streak. They were losing games. I think it was like an average of less than 5 points. So you always kind of felt up until, I want to say, the last 5 or 6 games of last season, they were just competing. But what happened was everybody thought that this season they were going to kick off hard. And I was actually at the Washington, it was the Redskins-Lions game. I went and I flew into Detroit to go see that game. And they beat the Redskins, really look good. Of course, hit some bumps and things like that. But now you're starting to see, especially from a offensive standpoint, because I wasn't, of course, as you know, a big fan of Stafford, but I wasn't all that good with the trade either of Goff. I didn't really feel like we were getting anything. But if you look at it overall now, I think Goff has like 23 touchdowns. He's got like 7 interceptions. So he's being efficient enough. But then you got the dual running backs with Williams and Swift, Williams got I think like 14 touchdowns. Swift has 4, but they're both doing the dual thing. And then with Brown on the receiving end, I think he's almost right at 1,000 yards with some games left as far as the receiving. So you never feel like right now that they're out of the game. That's the cool part about it now. And now the defense has started to finally pick up and stuff. That guy they got that oh man, I forgot his name, but he's playing, I think, defensive tackle, which they got from the Giants, who he had 10 sacks in 2002. He's all the way out of season in 2000 because he tore his Achilles in 2021, and the Giants cut him. They picked him up, and he had a big crucial sack against the Jets. Yeah. But again, even the play that they did to win against the Jets, throwing to the tight end where nobody even picked him up.
That was huge. Yes.
Yeah. The game before that one where they got the linemen in. So they're just pulling out the whole, playbook. That was a crucial play they threw to the lineman to get the first down. Coach didn't even know that was going to be the play.
Yeah. That was a huge play, and they're definitely on the roll. But Diego, so man, are you believing in Detroit now? Where do you stand? Do you think they're just getting some lucky wins?
Well, I think now seeing them, win some games against some competition, just consistently be able to put up points every week against it's a tough defense. Like the Jets have one of the top defenses in the league. So I think that they're I don't want to say for real, like Super Bowl contended. Like they're a respectable team now. They're a respectable team, which I hope the Panthers be someday. So
yeah, you hope the Panthers will be there someday.
Yeah.
Are the Lions going to make? Let me start with you. Then I'll go to Mike. Diego, are the Lions going to make the playoffs this year?
It's tough. They probably will get the 7th seed because they're playing against 3 teams that have under 500 records. They play the Panthers, I believe the Packers. The Packers will be tough, but then I think they play. I forgot who the other team is, but
they play the Bears.
The Bears. Oh yeah, that's an easy win. But yeah, so. But yeah, so they'll probably make the playoffs. They'll probably get in there.
Okay, Mike, are the Lions making the playoffs?
I actually at the beginning of the season had them making the playoffs, but in the wild card.
Oh wow! Okay,
I had them. I just barely squeaking in there. So now let me say this: if you'd have caught me about 5-6 games back, I'd have said, don't look like it's gonna happen." But it seemed like, and it's like in any sport, they're starting to get their momentum. You can see the guys they're really clicking with one another. And again, I got to give their coaching staff a lot of props as far as they're calling out the playbook. I mean, when you see them throwing to the lineman to get a first down, that's where you opening up the playbook.
Yeah, they're definitely doing it. Definitely doing it. Well, hey, before we let you go, so we see the Lions are for real. That's great. We're going to be watching them. They do have a bit of a soft schedule, so they'll probably get that last wild card spot. But you called it from the beginning, so that'll be big props to you if that happens. But before we let you go, we happen to be, you and I, Diego's not in this league. I'm in 2 fantasy football leagues right now. I've whittled it down to 2, and in the league that we're in, you and I are in, it has playoffs. And we're going into the semifinals this week, and we happen to be playing against each other. Now, you were off last week. You had to bye. You got the number 1 seed. You were sitting out last week, checking out the landscape, and now we go head to head to see who gets to go to the championship for the league here, man. How you feel?
So, just got to bring up interesting stat. I still am glad that I won got the bye because I won the overall standings for our league. Our league has been in existence for I think it's 13, 14 years.
Yes.
The person who is always won the overall season or whatever, has never won the championship. So with that being said,
Yes, they have.
I still hope that I can break that curse. It's gonna be tough against you. I would have came in here a little bit more cocky, ready to get on you, but just found out today Lockett, which has been a main beast for me this year.
Yeah.
In our league, around for a wide receiver, anywhere between 13 to 15 points is a lot of points, and that's actually what he's been averaging, almost a touchdown a game. I mean, he's been a beast. So he broke his finger, and he's going to be out. He just had surgery. So, man, I'm going to be scrambling. You know, I might have to go to the waiver and all of that or whatever. That's some hard points to make up. I mean, you got the Mr. GQ man himself, Burrows, putting up all these crazy numbers from Cincinnati and stuff as far as quarterback. You know? The thing that's offsetting me a little bit and helping me out is, believe it or not, Brady, because it's so funny, because Brady has been having a rough time, but because he's been behind, he's been having to throw a lot.
Yes.
So from the points perspective, that's been helping me out. He just haven't been hitting. Mike Evans has dropped an amazing amount of passes this year. It's some crazy number of passes. And it's kind of scary because, you know, you can get on the bad side of Brady and he don't be throwing to you as much, you know. And his targets have gone down if you look at them in comparison to the beginning of the year. So I'm nervous. We're going to see what's going to happen. They got you already beat me. I think you are like at 56%. I'm at a 40-something, but I'm used to being the underdog. That's how us Lions do. You know, we just always have to call me underdog. So, you know, I'll just be ready to scratch and claw and see what happens.
Well, pay no attention to the ESPN, because that's what the league, the word is, it's an ESPN league. Pay no attention to those percentages, because I'd say about 5 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, you know, when a lot of the games were done, there were a few games left, I had a 2% chance to win. It was literally 2%. And then it went to 5%. Then went to 10%. And then lo and behold, ended up winning. I chased down my competition last week just so I could get to this point to be able to face. I couldn't go out like that. I could not go out in the first round. I had to at least get here to the semifinal so we could have this back and forth. So it's going to be a lot of fun on Christmas. What better Christmas present?
Well, I'll see if my eggnog has to be spiked or not on Christmas evening.
For sure. Well, you will be back next week, so we can talk about one of us will be cheesing, the other one will be bad. So we'll be talking about that. But then we got to talk about the Michigan Wolverines as they'll be preparing to go into their bowl game.
Absolutely, baby. Michigan Wolverines, baby, go.
We definitely
National championship. Good time to be in Michigan, Detroit.
But
Wolverines.
The good news is, so went back to the curse has already been lifted, because there is one person that had the bye, had the best record in the league, got the bye, and still won the championship. That is yours truly. When I won the title a few years back, I had the number 1 seed and had that bye. So that curse.
I did not remember that. I thought, okay, I remember you came in. I was a little mad. Yes, I was. You come into the league and you won it right off. I'm still one of the few that have not won at all, you know. But I did not remember that you won the overall. I thought that was still okay. So maybe that curse is broke, so I can keep it.
That's right. Do that, dude. And I'm trying to have the double trophy this year. I'm trying to go double cup this year because in our other league, the league that my son here, Diego, and I are in, I'm tied for first in that league. That one doesn't have a playoffs, so that's just all the way through. So we got 3 weeks left there. I'm tied for first, but I'm behind in points. So, and I don't play the guy that I'm tied with. So I need him to lose one of these last few games, and I've got to probably run the table in order to win there. So maybe holding 2 trophies in a few weeks. We'll see. Don't know. We'll see how that shakes out. But Diego's pulling for me, so I know with his well wishes, I know I'll be able to pull it out. Isn't that right, my man?
I can tell how excited he looks.
No. Sorry, man. That's going to be me. Sorry, man. I'm gonna make a comeback.
Well, Diego, I actually need your help because I believe, matter of fact, I believe you play the guy. You play the guy that's in first and third.
Oh,
so,
I think I do play that guy.
Yeah. So you can help me out big time, man.
All I can say is
I might put in my worst lineup just so you can lose.
You must be wanting a big Christmas present.
Right.
I can tell you though right now for sure, if I do win the overall championship, I'm going to rent a billboard off on 440, and it's going to be a big billboard sign with me holding the trophy.
Oh man, that's I know you will too. That's fun. Well, hey Mike, thanks for joining us. We can't wait to see you next week. We'll recap fantasy and talk Michigan. And hey, good luck to your Lions the rest of the way, my man.
Outstanding. Again, hey, thank you guys for having me, and look forward to see you next week.
All right, we'll see you then.
All right, guys.
Thank you. All right, so that was Mike Sims. He will be back next week. But now let's bring in our next guest. Diego has his chain adjusted. He is ready. He's ready to bring on the man, the myth, Dez, the third D here. We're so happy to have him back this week. So let's bring in Mr. Desmond Clark. What's going on, my man?
What's going on, Double D's, man? It's good to be back with you guys. I mean, I leave and all hell breaks loose over the time that I'm not here, man. And I see Diego over there rocking the chain.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it looks good on you, but it looks better on me. But it looks okay. I mean, I'll give you that.
Yeah, it looks great. It just matches with the. It's just natural. It just looks naturally good on me. Just natural.
Yeah, I think the medallion too big for you. It fits better on right here. Yeah, but that's just me.
Y'all gonna be going at it all show here, so that's fun. But yeah, Diego got it this week. Got it really off that Raiders play there. There was so much going on. We were watching it on Red Zones, we were saying earlier, and it could have gone so many different ways. I mean, if the Chargers Titans game was neck and neck, that was ending as the Raiders game was ending, and the way it unfolded there, I think the Raiders game ended last, and with that touchdown there, that pretty much sealed it. So that was just a crazy,
the craziest plays you ever seen.
Man, I know, but Belichick had to be limit.
That's one way to lose the game. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah,
a hell of a way to lose the game. Yeah.
It is for sure. All right. Well, hey, y'all ready to get into these week 16? It's only 3 weeks left in the regular season, y'all.
That's it. Man,
it's flying by. Well, we got 3 weeks left. This is week 16. We agree on 10 games this week. And then there's 6 where we have disagreement. So we agree on 10. Then Diego's on the island for 1 game. I am on the island for 2 games. And Dez is on the island for 3 games. So he's really going out on the limb, doing everything he can to get that chain back.
Just like I like it.
All right. Although he does have 1 provisional pick. We'll get into that because that happens to be the last pick of the day. So we'll get into that at the end. All right. Okay, well, let's get on into these with our 10 that we agree on. Again, we bet a pretty high percentage on these that agree and almost take these to your bank. We're like 90-95% on these, so we're doing very well. So first one that we have is the Thursday night game. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to play the Jets. Diego, who do we have in this one?
Yeah, we all have the Jets winning this game. They probably would have beat the Lions last week if it wasn't for that touchdown later in the game. They threw the tight end, which sealed the game. But yeah, the Jets, they didn't look bad last week. Zach Wilson came back from a couple week absence. And he threw for 300 yards, looked pretty good. The Jaguars are ascending too. They beat the Ravens recently, and then they beat the Cowboys. So 2 quality wins as of recently. But I do think the Jets pull this out because really their defense is really good.
I almost went with Jacksonville on this one. But then the Jets are playing at home, and I think it's supposed to be cold and snowy. So that's why I gave it to the Jets.
Yeah, that can definitely impact it. I think the Jets are going to be trying to bounce back from that loss. And also the Jaguars, I feel they're going to be riding high, and I don't know if they can consistently. I don't think they've necessarily arrived yet. I think they're building. They have some weeks where they're up, some weeks where they're down. We can't forget the awful losses that they also had this week. So I think this is going to be one of those dips, and then I'm sure next week they'll probably pop back up. But I think just the stars are aligning for them to take a dive this week. I see the Jets getting this one this week. So we're all in agreement there. But didn't think about the weather. I definitely see that impacted it. Yeah. Favoring the Jets there. So that's a great point, Des. All right. Well, the second game out of 10 that we all agree on, we have a bunch of Saturday games. Oh, man, Christmas Eve, bunch of Saturday games. This is going to be phenomenal. We've got the Buffalo Bills traveling to, Chi-Town, Chicago, Desert, to play the Bears. Diego, who do we have in this one?
We all have the Bills winning this one. I feel like the Bears just got eliminated from playoff contention, so they really have nothing to play for. They're really just playing for like experience, probably for Justin Fields in the future. And the Bills, they're still playing for the 1 seed. It's a very tight race in the AFC. So I feel like they're gonna try and blow the Bears out this week. So I have them winning.
Yeah. Just a better team. I mean, what else do you need to say? A better team. But here's the thing about Chicago. I see Chicago going in the same trajectory as the Detroit Lions did. They playing every game close. They're being very, very competitive. They add a few more pieces next year. They'll be a good team, but we're not talking about next year. We're talking about week 16 this week, and they're not there. And the Buffalo Bills, I can see them winning this. But in a close game because Chicago will be competitive.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. The Bears are looking a lot better than I thought they would this year, and you can see the building blocks start to take shape. I am concerned about how much Justin Fields is running, though.
1,000 yards.
Yeah, so that is a concern. Again, he's young and is definitely effective. I just worry about injury as that happens with all the running quarterbacks. But they're definitely building and heading in the right direction in Chicago. We'll see what they can do with some of these picks. Need to cash in on those. But we've got the Bills in this one. All right. Well, the next one we have the Houston Texans traveling to Tennessee to play the Titans. I say the much improved Houston Texans. They are either winning or barely getting beat and playing really well against some tough teams. Diego was talking about how it's a shame how they have such a tough schedule because they've really been playing some tough teams.
Yeah.
But,
the Cowboys and the Chiefs and Titans and
playing everybody.
Like 3 straight legitimate playoff teams.
Exactly. But Diego, who do we have? And then we could talk a little more about the Texans and just how they're building there, because I'd love to get your take on that, Des. But who do we have in this one, Diego?
Yeah, we all have the Titans winning this one. It was tough because the Texans, they've been hanging in there with some teams, even though they only have 1 win all year. This is probably going to be closer than some might anticipate. The Titans, like usually what they like to rely on is their running game, but Derrick Henry hasn't really been playing as great as he usually has. He's still been putting up great numbers, but just not as much as he has in the past. But still have them winning because they are going against a 1-win team.
Yeah, and just real quick about that schedule. Unfortunately, they're playing against the NFC East this year. So one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. But they are looking better, but they're not looking good enough to beat the Tennessee Titans. So I see the Titans winning this game. and getting another victory and staying ahead of the pack in the AFC South. Yes.
Yep. All right. Yeah. Definitely have the Titans. They've taken a few bad losses recently, but I see them bouncing back here, and the Texans. I mean, hey, season's almost over. Might as well finish it off and make sure you get that number 1 pick in the draft. So ain't no need to start winning.
Don't give that up.
Right. No need to start winning now. So all right, we have the Titans there. So on to the 4th game out of 10 that we agree on. We have the Seattle Seahawks traveling to Kansas City for yet another Saturday game to play the Chiefs. Diego, who do we have in this one?
Yeah, we have the Chiefs winning this game. They are playing for a lot. They're still playing for the 1 seed. They're, I believe, 2nd in the AFC right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Mahomes playing for MVP, tight race with Jalen Hurts. So he's going to try and ball out. And they're just there at home. So I feel like they're going to beat the Seahawks. They're just a better team.
Yeah, you remember 5 weeks ago, the talk of the town was the Seattle Seahawks. They've come back to earth now, and probably they're right where they're still probably a little bit ahead of where everybody thought they were going to be. Still a good football team, but not that team that we've seen early on in the year. And Kansas City is Kansas City, and saying that Kansas City will get this victory.
Yeah, I agree that Kansas City will get the victory. I am a little concerned about how tight some of their last few games have been against much less competition. Hey, maybe they're overlooking. Hey, I know you can't really play at that same level week in and week out, I'm sure. So probably some of it is due to that. But just am concerned with how tight some of their more recent games have been. But with that said, with the Chiefs being at home and Mahomes running the show, I agree with you guys. I also have the Chiefs beating the Seahawks this week. Yeah. All right. Well, the 5th game out of 10 that we agree on, we have the Giants. The Giants coming off that win against Heineke and the Commanders. They're able to get that win on Monday night, but they travel to Minnesota to play the Vikings, who's coming off of an amazing biggest comeback in NFL history.
Yeah.
33-0.
I mean, my goodness. So this could go a few different ways, but how do we have this one going, Diego?
Yeah, before I want to go back to what you said, who did the Giants beat again?
They beat the Commanders. Now there were some
No, you said the Commanders and
and they beat
Heineke. What happened to the legend?
And the Commanders. He is still the legend. The legend continues to grow. And the legend, actually, you know what? The legend's even bigger because I just read that he is a sneakerhead now. And buys a pair of J's
every win.
Every win. So that's
So I actually seen that story. So he gets like $125,000 bonus if he plays 60% of the snaps in a win for the Redskins.
What?
So not only is he buying J's for himself, he's buying J's for other people on the team too, for other groups.
That's right.
And the defense is like, bruh, we need some J's too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it sure is. So I know that game ended in a controversial manner, but hey, win is a win. Giants pull that out, but Heineke is still a legend, and we'll see how the rest of this season unfolds. Giants and the Vikings. So we got the Vikings, right?
Yeah. We all do have the Vikings.
Okay,
yes.
we got the Vikings. I agree with you. We got the Vikings.
I almost picked the Giants though, because the Vikings, man, like their wins are like, how did y'all do that?
Always.
Yeah. So they've been down big in games. They needed fumbles on the goal line to win, big time comeback. So I'm not sold on Minnesota, but they'll find a way to win again.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
always find a way.
That'll definitely help. And I just don't believe in the Giants either. It's just something about the Giants. I don't know what
about them.
Yeah, they were the talk of the town, just like Seattle, and regression happened.
They sure were. Sure were. All right. Well, speaking of talk of the town, let's get to the team that's going to win the Super Bowl this year. We have.
Oh, you mean the Bills?
No, not talking about the
We already
Bills.
talked about the Bills.
We're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, that bad man, GQ himself, the Bengals, my man Chase, all my fantasy football people out there for these 2 championships that I'm going to win this year. We'll have 2, both leagues. Cincinnati Bengals travel to New England to play the Patriots. Who do we have in this one, Diego?
Yeah, the Bengals, which you abandoned like 5 weeks ago. But anyways, yeah, we all do have the Bengals. we all do have the Bengals winning this game. Just amazing quarterback, too many weapons, and then the Patriots just with how they do try to take away the team's number 1 weapon. They just have so many weapons that even if they do stop Chase, they're not gonna stop the rest of their receivers or running back that they have in the team. So I do have the Bengals winning this game.
Yeah, the Bengals, man, they are. I think they're coming on right at the right time. Mid-season they had some losses here and there, but they're getting healthy. They got everybody coming back. Joe Burrow is a sleeper for the MVP. And he's playing really well right now, and they're ascending at the right time. So Bengals over the New England Patriots, and the New England Patriots are done after that stupid loss that they had.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that ended it for them. All right, we all have the Bengals. All right, so next, the 7th game out of 10 that we agree on, we have the Washington Commanders are traveling to the Bay to play the 49ers. The other team that's going to be in the Super Bowl this year.
So what was all that you were saying about the Washington Commanders now, Derek?
Yeah, what about the Commanders, man?
Yeah, I was just saying
the
Commanders are playing the 49ers. That's just all I.
What happened to Heineke, the legend, the sneaker collection? What happened?
He is the legend.
And all of that stuff that you were just talking about.
Okay, all of that just goes out the window now. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we all do have the 49ers winning this game. Even with their new quarterback, who seems to be playing well, actually, and then Debo's not there either, but still, just their defense, which is probably top in the league, McCaffrey, just all the weapons they've been playing very well. They just locked up the NFC West, so I do think that they're gonna beat the Commanders and try to get that 1 seed.
Yeah, they showed a chink in the armor last week in the second half. After that first long play in the second half, like a minute into the half, they didn't do much after that. So I wondered it. They find out, the other teams kind of find out something about Purdy, because he, as they say, plays pretty good. And wanted they kind of figure something out there. But we'll see. I like them over Washington, but I want to see how they bounce back from that lackluster second half that they played.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be interesting to watch and follow. So, yeah, that's another Saturday game in the afternoon. But, that'll be interesting to follow. I have to keep an eye on that. But we all have the 49ers over the Commanders. All right. So, next, oh, boy, we have the Detroit Lions, the team that Diego has picked against many, many times. That's been a constant topic in the family on why Diego continues to pick against the Lions. Again, we just had the resident Detroit expert Michael Sims on, who schooled us on the Lions. The Lions come here to North Carolina, North Cackalack, where Diego and I are, to play the Panthers, Diego's favorite team. Who do we have in this one, my man?
Well, yeah, I am.
Hey, but hold on, before you do this. Man, like, you're going to want to go to some of them picnics up in Detroit. And you're going to want to go see the family up in Detroit. So just tread lightly.
Well, yeah, that being said, I do finally have the Lions winning this game. I'm picking the Lions finally. And they better not lose, because then I'm going to never pick them again for messing me up. So they better win. And then my Panthers, they did have playoff hopes. But they did lose to the Steelers and their backup quarterback when we were at home. So now their chances to make the playoffs are very slim. So they already messed up their playoff opportunity. So we gotta win this game to have our playoff chances still alive. So, but I don't think they're gonna win because I don't trust them. So
don't count them out just yet. If they continue to win, and they already beat Tampa once, right?
Yes.
And do they have to play Tampa? Yeah, I think they got to play Tampa again, and they're only one game behind Tampa.
They play next week. Yeah.
So if they win this game and then going to beat Tampa next week, they're in the playoffs if they could win out.
Yeah.
So there's still hope, even though they're a 5-9 team, but the NFC South stinks. But the Detroit Lions 1-6.
Oof.
And now 7-7.
Yes.
I know I said this last time I was on.
You called it.
I was trying to tell y'all early on when they were losing those games that they are just a couple plays away. And once they start tasting a little bit of that victory, boy, that thing starts to taste so sweet. And you don't want to lose that taste, and they don't want to lose that taste. And I can see Detroit possibly running the table because I know they got Green Bay left. I think they got Chicago left also. So I can see them beating both of those teams.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think I had the Lions, obviously, with you guys winning this week, and I have the Lions running the table, just looking at the rest of their schedule. I think they run the table, and they do get into the playoffs. Des, you definitely called it. I did not say. I knew they were building, so I liked the culture that they were building, but I thought they would finish this season certainly with the losing record, maybe 5 wins at most. I thought would have been a nice jump, and then maybe they do some of the things that they're doing now next season. Did not see that happening at that time, but they're looking good, and I think they're gonna run the table and make their way into the playoffs. So we will see how that shakes out. All right, shouts out to Detroit. All right, so next one, 9th game out of 10 that we have the Green Bay Packers are traveling to Miami to play the Dolphins. Oh man, this is a Sunday game that has big fantasy implications. Diego, who do we have in this one?
Yeah, we all have the Dolphins winning this game. They are just a high-powered offense. Tyreek, Waddle, all their receivers. Then the Packers are sort of kind of the opposite because they're just kind of just I don't know how to describe them. They're just
Wow.
yeah, that's a good way to describe them. But so the Dolphins should probably run over these guys and probably end their playoff host because they still technically have a chance.
And they keep saying they have it. Rodgers was saying last night, man, they're still alive. So they seem to still think they have a chance to get in this thing.
They don't have any chance.
Not. Listen,
and
I just want to see Green Bay lose. I mean, it makes my day just to see them lose. And Miami, they're still fighting for playoff position in here, 8-6. But their last few games, I think they lost like 3 in a row. So they got to get back on the winning side of the ledger here. And I think they do it here at home versus Green Bay.
All right. Yeah. Miami's got to do it. Come on, we're in warm weather. I need Tua to light it up. I need Tyreek. Come on, let's stop messing around like y'all have these last few weeks. I need huge numbers. I've got to beat Mike. I got to get into the finals. So I need Dolphins to light up the scoreboard. So let's go. All right. So let's go. We have the 10th game out of 10 that we agree on. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling, to Arizona to play the Cardinals that just seem to be losing everybody. Who do we have in this one, Diego?
They have the Bucks winning this game, and I actually never thought I would pick the Bucks to win a game for a long time, but they are playing the Cardinals, who are just wow, man. There's something. They lost Kyler to ACL. Their backup quarterback seems to be seriously injured. So they're on their 3rd string quarterback. So the third string quarterback already having a down year. Just the whole team. The GM had to step down. So I mean, that's just tough. So the Bucs are going to win this game. And if Tom Brady doesn't beat a third string quarterback who barely played in the NFL before, then I don't know. Then the Bucs are just on a whole new low.
Well, he couldn't beat that third string quarterback out in San Francisco. So I'm just saying.
You're right.
with Arizona, the GM had to step down. Guess who's next? The head coach is next. And I think everybody knows that. And when those type of things start to happen with a professional football team, as much as people want to go out and play for their teammates, morale seems to suffer because they know change is coming. And now it's like, what's going to happen to this team? What's going to happen for my position? Which direction are we going to go? All those type of distractions take away from the focus of just going out and playing the game. And Tampa stinks right now also, but they stink less than Arizona do. So I'll give it to Tampa.
Yeah. And I agree with everything you said. And it's funny because there's those are the hardest games to pick. Not this one, but when you have two teams that stink, it's like, okay, well, which one stinks less? Who do I believe in more or less? So those are the really tough ones to pick. And we have some of those in some of these other games that we disagree on. But all right. So those are the 10 that we agree on. Take those to your bank. Now we get into the fun ones that we disagree on. So, boy. Diego, you're gonna start up.
This is what separates just having a good week from a great week. Just these games that you decide to have the audacity to go on a limb for. This is the difference between W's and L's.
These games right here make the difference. Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna see. Well, you, sir, are on the island for one of these games. We have you are on the island for the Denver Broncos, traveling to LA to play your guy Baker and the Rams. Wow. Who do you have in this one?
Yeah, well, you were just talking about a game with two teams that stink. Well, to talk about it, this is the pretty much example of it. Both of these teams they're probably the two most underachieving teams. You can make an argument these are the two most underachieving teams all year. But I do have the Broncos winning just because I think the Baker, the short stint of Baker magic has faded off. And there's no more Baker magic. And the Broncos, there's not a lot of good things to say about them, but their defense has been holding teams down. So I think that's probably going to be the difference between this battle of the 4 and 10s. So, yeah, the Broncos.
Yeah, this is a pretty awful game right here. And when you look at it, the thing that I like now about the Broncos, even though I'm not picking them, is that they're scoring points now. They scored 24 in the last game with a victory over the Cardinals, and they scored 28 in a loss to the Chiefs. So that was the problem before. They couldn't score any points. Before that, I think I'm looking here, scored 9 points, 10 points, 16 points, 10 points. They did score 21 points against the Jaguars, but 9 points against the Jets. I think that they are finding a rhythm offensively, but they're not going to find enough rhythm to beat the Rams. And I don't know why I'm saying that, because it's not like the Rams are good, but this is just one of those who will underachieve less. And I think that the Rams will underachieve less. I hope everybody can follow that line of thinking, because I'm not even following it that much.
No, I'm following it because I feel the same way. And I also look at Baker. Baker has probably more to play for than anybody amongst all these teams. So Baker's trying to win. You know what I mean? Baker trying to get a contract. He's trying to win, and Baker's trying to stick it to Diego. Because he came in to save the day in Carolina. They
he messed up drastically. He became the third string quarterback for a 5-8 team, and then he went to the Rams, and now he's faded there. So,
he
yeah,
did.
Baker's the guy I want carrying my team for the next couple years.
Well, you did. I seen him have a video of you on the driver's range, hyped just a few months ago that Baker was coming to Carolina.
Is it still up there?
No.
Oh, yes.
I think it came down a long time ago.
I'm pretty sure it's still up there.
I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah. Stuff's still up there.
Why are you wearing the Panther hat?
Because of our trade, man.
Okay.
Our trade, man.
Trade
so
for
amazing.
what?
A Baker.
Okay.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing,
Are
yes.
you going to the playoffs?
Yes. Okay, yeah. Yes. We're going to the playoffs. Whatever you want to bet, bet me.
You booking
Come
it?
on. You can book it.
Said you bet anything you want to bet that the Panthers making the playoffs. It was Baker mania. Now it's only been just a few months. You off Baker?
That was a long time ago.
No, man.
Really long time.
Why are you bringing up old stuff, man?
Yeah, why are you bringing up old stuff, man? Exactly.
Oh, well, we've got Baker. So we'll see what happens there. Baker could be the reason why that chain is snatched and no longer.
Yeah, Baker's going to be the reason. Okay.
On your chest.
All
right. So we're going to get into the two where I am on an island now. We have the Las Vegas Raiders coming off of that wild finish. They are traveling to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. And oh, man. So, again, both of these teams have been underachieving. I do not like picking either one of these teams here, but I'm going to go with the Steelers. They have been playing a little better. The game that they lost, I think 2 games ago, was when Trubisky came in, threw like 3 picks, and they still almost won the dang on game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of them were in the red zone.
Oh my good, yeah.
And they only played like a half.
That was just ridiculous. So he's playing better. He's getting used to the flow of the game. The Raiders, I just don't trust the Raiders to play back-to-back games, win back-to-back games. They, had that miraculous play at the end where New England threw the ball to them and they went and scored. That was great, but I just don't see them going on the road in the cold to beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh. So I think Pittsburgh will do just enough to barely win a close game.
Yeah, I don't like Pittsburgh. Not that I don't like Pittsburgh. I don't like their makeup as a team right now. I think that Las Vegas is a very underachieving team. And I think they're starting to figure it out in the second half of the year. If we go back to what something I said about the Las Vegas Raiders weeks ago, I was like, you got to look at the coach team that was ascending at the end of last year, and then they couldn't win games at all. But now they're starting to figure it out. I think now they're playing more together as a team right now. I think they're more talented than the Steelers, especially offensively. And I expect them to put up more points than the Steelers can put up because of the quarterback play and just a lack of offensive explosiveness from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, Steelers. They are. They don't have a lot of offensive firepower. They are at home, and when they're at home, they usually play pretty well. But the Raiders just. I'm just hoping that this is their week because you never know what they're gonna do. Really. They're on like a 5-game losing streak, then a 3-game winning streak, then a losing streak, then winning streak. You just never know what's going to happen. But they are more talented, definitely the more talented team. They just got Darren Waller back, who caught a touchdown last week. So I feel like they're starting to get in more of a rhythm, like you said, and they're gonna win this game.
They won the last 3 out of 4, and then the one that they lost by 1 point. So.
That's true.
I think they're starting to figure some things out.
Yeah. Well, hey, the only reason I'm gonna watch this one is because I'll be on the island and hope that I can get a win. But outside of that, this is not going to be a good one.
You'll be too busy watching Denver and the Rams.
Oh, man. Yeah, right.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. All right. Thank goodness the Dolphins are on Christmas. All right. So we have the second one where I'm on the island. We have the LA Chargers traveling to Indy to play the Colts. This is the Monday night game. I'm going with the Colts on this one. It's really just more of a gut feel. It's Monday night. They're prime time. I think they're obviously not going to do anything, this year, not going to playoffs or anything like that. I feel that they've got one last win, magical, fluky moment here under the Jeff Saturday regime. The Chargers, I don't trust the Chargers. I don't trust them to consistently play well. And all their games are close. So if it's a close game, it's in Indy, especially coming off of last week, I feel that they'll find some type of way to win this, and it'll be an emotional celebration at the end, and Indy gets this. So it's really just a gut feel. That's all I got for you.
Diego, the dude said trust. He don't trust the Chargers.
He said to go off feel.
How can you trust a team that had a 33-0 lead in the league? But he can't trust the Chargers.
How do you trust a team with a head? Well, how do you trust a team with a head coach that was an ESPN analyst that
Who's never been a head coach?
I get it.
so I'm gonna let you go ahead and trust that, and I'm gonna trust that the Chargers get this victory.
Yes, yeah. Thank you for the easy win. Thank you. I cannot see how you can pick a team with a coach that was an ESPN analyst a couple weeks ago, and they blew a 33-0 lead at halftime.
Yeah.
How do you redeem yourself?
Well,
I don't see how you can emotionally even come back from that.
You don't.
So you guys are saying I get 2 wins then if I get this one. I get 2 wins.
I didn't hear me or Diego say anything of that nature at all.
Oh, you man, I don't know what you're hearing. You probably put something.
I'm a genius. If they end up winning this, my intuition is just off the charts. I want to get all this on record.
It's a fluke.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, me and my fluke are gonna get this one. And I may have a fluke chain, but that's all right. I'll still get it.
Any way you can get it back, you should be willing to take it because you hadn't had it in a long time. I
might just let this guy win this week.
Oh, okay. That's how it's going to happen. Okay.
But you got to win in a long time. You got to get it sometimes.
You get a pity chain. Give him a pity chain.
Hey, the Jalen Rose Leadership Academy is getting the lion's share of the funds because I am up 7 games, 3 weeks to go. It's already in the bag. Like I said, it's like the 100 meters. You run the 100-meter dash, and, it's those preliminary heats. You're not going to pull a hammy. You just pull up around the 70, 80 meter mark, and you just chill. That's what I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling. Ain't no need to go all out. I'm just cruising to the finish line. It's already in the bag.
And let everybody know that you're talking about your competition with Diego.
Yep, that's the official stuff. Now, Des came in, the 3D came in, made us hold about halfway through. We're still, we have a very respected firm who's doing an audit on that. So we're still waiting on the numbers to know exactly where things have been since the middle of the season. So we need to get an update and a report to know what the overall numbers are since Dez has been on. But we know.
I can let you know. I can let you know in a roundabout way where it's at.
Okay, where's that? What you got for us, D?
I'm ahead.
Just ahead,
It's like, yeah.
It might be a half a game, but just ahead.
I'm ahead. Yeah. I'm just going on. I'm just going by the percentage of chain weeks that I had compared to everybody else. Okay. That I think that'll put me ahead.
Now some of those that with the chain, because we're gonna see next year, but with the chain, like if it's a tie, right? But if you had it last week, you still had. So you had 1 or 2 ties.
Yeah.
But you still had. in there though. So
On top.
that been just every single week.
But I've also had 3 or 4 just outright wins. And
yeah,
I've only had 1 loss to you and 2 losses to Diego since I've been on here.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but each of you had at least 3 losses to me.
It's close. Yeah, it's close. It's close.
So,
you might have us by a game. You might have us by a game. We're gonna check. We're gonna check.
let that auditing company do its work and get back to us.
Yeah. We're gonna let Jerome and Johnson finish their audit on that. The very respected Jerome and Johnson accounting firm. They're gonna check that out. Get back with us and let us know.
Picking Pros brought to you by Jerome and Johnson.
That's right. All right. So next, oh man, we're gonna end with the 3 that Des is on the island for. Oh man, will he snatch the chain back? All right, we've got 3 here. We have the New Orleans Saints. Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. The New Orleans Saints travel to Cleveland to play the Browns. On
Merry
Saturday.
Christmas. Oh yeah. Man.
We gotta go, Des. Who do you have in this one?
Listen, man, I'm not even going to try to BS you guys about this. I had to pick a few games in here that I thought that I'm going to be going out on a limb on that I could possibly get a victory. That gave me a good chance of getting a victory.
Okay.
This was one of those games. You look at New Orleans 5-9. You look at Cleveland 6-8.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see Cleveland being that much better than New Orleans. I think New Orleans could go in and steal this game. And the only reason I pick New Orleans is because that's one of those games that, hey, they're an underdog, but they still have a good chance of winning. So that's just my honest assessment of this game. It's not like I felt like New Orleans is going to go win this game because they got some type of edge or something like that. Nope. I think they give me the best chance to get an upset victory. Okay. And that's why I'll snatch that chain back.
I respect that. Yeah, and the Saints, man, they should. Oh my goodness, you already know how I feel. They should have won on the road in Tampa. I mean, they played so well up until the coaching staff just got totally silly in the fourth quarter and decided to go, spread offense, run and shoot and have 50-second possessions and immediately give the ball back to Tampa so they can continue to throw it until they score. So as long as they don't do that, they'll be fine. But I think the Browns are getting better. Deshaun Watson starting to get a little bit of a groove. He looked terrible the first week, little better the next week, and just a little better. Think they can pull this out. But the Saints are more than capable of going there and getting the win. What do you think, Diego?
Yeah, well, Saints are capable of getting the win, but the Browns are going to win just because of their running game. Deshaun Watson's getting better every week, as he said, and then they're at home too. I think that they're going to be more dangerous next year. Deshaun Watson gets more like a groove, an off season with the team, and then next year going to be really dangerous. But definitely, they think they have enough to win this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, that is the first one that Des is on the island for. Is going for the upset to get the chain back. The second game, he has. We've got the Atlanta Falcons are traveling to Baltimore to play the Ravens. Who do you have in this one, Des?
All right. Same logic here, right? I wanted to pick a couple upsets. And I looked at this game and I was looking at, okay, here's what the Falcons done over the last few weeks. Won 37-34, lost 20-17, lost 25-15, won 27-24, lost 19-13, lost 19-16, lost 21-18. They either won their games or they've been right in there. Now, if you go and you look at Baltimore, Baltimore has they've won their games, but they have struggled. Let me pull up my stats real quick here. Mm-hmm. Their last few games, they beat the Panthers 13-3. Mm-hmm. They lost to Jacksonville 28-27. Mm-hmm. They barely beat the Broncos 10-9. They barely beat the Steelers 16-14. They lost to the Browns last week, 13-3. They haven't been playing really good football, even though that they've won some of these games. So I look at this game as another upset special. And I'm just going out on a limb because I knew that you guys were going to pick Baltimore, but I think Atlanta has a really good shot of winning this game just based off the way these two teams have been playing over the last 5-6 weeks.
Yeah. What do you think, Diego?
I understand the Falcons have been playing some close games this year, but I have the Ravens really because they haven't really been playing well last week, but they haven't had Lamar. I think Lamar's. I'm pretty sure he's coming back this week. So I have them. They have the home field advantage. So just those are really the reasons why I have them winning. So Atlanta.
Yeah. And Des, you only get one provisional. So if Lamar's starting, you can't change it.
I ain't worried about Lamar starting. Lamar gonna come back. He got to knock that rust off. So it's going to be just like the rest of the team. He'll be struggling a little bit to get into rhythm.
All right. Okay. All right. So you got the Falcons in the upset there to gain a game. All right. So we'll see what happens there. And the last one, oh man, this one, man, it would be an even bigger game if the Cowboys would have taken care of business last week, but they didn't. But we have the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Dallas to play the Cowboys. Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern start time. There's a provisional on this, but Des, who you got?
So here's the provisional. If Philadelphia starts Jalen Hurts, if he's able to play, Philadelphia wins this game. He played with that shoulder against Chicago, and actually he got better as the game went on. So that's why I'm thinking that he still may play. Now, here's the if-then. If he does not play, then, hey, all bets off. I'm going to Dallas. That's my provisional. I hit one out of bounds, and I get to hit another one over just to make sure. Oh, I don't know if I hit it out of bounds yet, but I get to hit another one over just in case we go out of bounds with Jalen Hurts not starting. Then I get to play another ball here.
All right. Well, you want to go, Diego? You want me?
I'll go here.
Okay.
I do have the Cowboys winning. They are at home. Right now, they pretty much have to win this game to keep their division hopes alive, because if Philly wins, then they lock up the 1 seed in the NFC and the NFC East title. So they're playing a lot here. If they're playing for a lot here, and the Cowboys, if they want to win the division, they got to win this game. And then with Jalen Hurts either not there or banged up, this is probably going to be this is probably going to be their chance. And I think they overlooked Jacksonville last week because they're really looking forward to this game and trying to prepare for the Eagles. So I do have the Cowboys.
I think they've definitely been overlooking. I think no matter what, the Cowboys don't have a chance of winning the division. That's not
no.
Or this game if Jalen Hurts plays. I'm just saying.
Well, I think this is typical Dallas Cowboys. To where now, they've lost some games, on a down streak, and this is the type of game that they would win. Now, if it was the playoffs, or if it had even more meaning, I think they would lose. But since this is just meaningless enough to just raise the hype train up, I think it's a game they win. And that's the only reason I've gotten with that. I feel that, if they play in the playoffs, oh my goodness, especially then it would be in Philly. So that's a whole nother story. But I love the receivers for Philly. And that's the one way that Eagles could win, obviously, is if Hurts plays. But then I don't see them having an answer for those receivers, especially by Dallas losing their other DB. But I feel that Hurts being banged up, possibly not playing, and the fact that Cowboys are at home, and this is, again, a game that's meaningless enough to just raise the hype train, I'm going to go with the Cowboys on this one because it's typical Cowboys.
and they could talk about getting what's the receiver? They could build up the hype train even more.
Yes.
Yes. You know what Jerry Jones like? Hey, that's why they the most popular team out here, because they got an owner that's going to keep your attention with everything that's going on around that team. Win, lose, or draw, they will be a story.
Yep. They sure will. You have a million shows out there that just pretty much just talk about the Cowboys, just because of the ratings, because it's just a ratings, magnet. So, yeah. But looking forward to that. That'll be interesting. So we'll see if Hurts starts, and we will see how that shakes out. So great week of games. But hey, Des, before we go, man, you've got something that just arrived today that we love you to open up, man, on behalf of Pick'em Pros here. Let's see what you got.
Let's do it. So, my son every day, Dad, can I open up a gift? Can I open up a gift? No, you got to wait until Christmas to open it up. So he seen me get this gift. He was like, whose gift is this? And I was like, it's mine. But I didn't know I was going to get to open it today. So I'm looking forward to opening it up and see what I got here. Man, okay. Come on over here, sir. You can't open up any early gifts, but I can. You about to ask me about this? Yeah. So look what I got. Boom. Come on in here. So what you asked for Christmas?
PC and VR shoes. I mean, not shoes.
What type of shoes?
Like those
Jordans?
Yeah, those. Yeah.
What I got?
Ooh. One of those.
But I got them.
Can I open an early gift?
No, you can't open an early gift. You got to wait till Christmas. I told you, always ask, can you open it? No early. I'm the only one that get to open an early gift, courtesy of Pick'em Pros, my guys, Derek and Diego Thompson. Man, I appreciate that. These are like my favorite Jordans right here.
Yep. We know. Yeah, the 13s. We remember you saying those are your favorite. They're very comfortable, and we made sure we got them in the Wake Forest yellow there for you. So
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll be rocking these tomorrow. Early gift. Kicking my feet up, stepping real high so everybody can see me.
That's right. That's right. Nah, but Des, man, we appreciate you being the third D on here and spending so much time with us, week to week basis. It's been a pleasure. So Merry Christmas to you and your family. And it's just a little token from Diego and I to you, man.
No, I appreciate it very much, man. It's been fun all year. I know we still got a couple more weeks to go here, but no, I enjoyed jumping on with you guys and being part of the show, man. And I really do appreciate the Jays. Trust me, I'll be rocking them first thing in the morning when I walk out of that door around 5 o'clock.
All right. So, well, hey, y'all, have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy all the games. Enjoy family. And hey, until then, Pick'em Pros. We are out. Catch you later.